All right, really great positive scrimmage for us from a standpoint. A lot of things to improve, but really physical out there. Saw some better execution at times. Offense did a good job moving the ball at times, but they also turned the ball over. Defense, started off with a 3 and out, and had some really good back and forth. I think they won both red area situations and 2-minute situations there at the end. So some good back and forth throughout the scrimmage, some good physicality. With that, we can kind of open it up.
What's your reaction to Dalen Austin's arrest, and what's his status with the program right now?
Yeah, I have no updates right now. Beyond, I know Dalen's character, and I think there's a lot of details that will continue to play out. Beyond that, I'm not going to speak on it any more than that.
What's the last few days been like for the defensive backs, the room, but Rashad Wadoud? That relationship goes back with him for several
Like I said,
years.
I'm not going to have any other. I'm not going to talk about it beyond what I just talked about. But our team's in a really good place.
You said you wanted to see improvement as much as anything over last week. Is there any other areas you felt like right away you could say, yeah, I saw improvement there?
Yeah, I think it was much more physical this scrimmage, which is what you want to see. I know it's always a fine line as a coach. You try to decide, do you go out there and play two-hand touch, but that's not football, right? So we had a physical scrimmage today, and I think that showed up, in the trenches. It showed up in our tackling and our blocking. So I think that was a real positive.
As far as offensive ownership and offensive autonomy, is that something you can see this early on with the quarterbacks, or do you still need to wait a little bit longer before you see that?
Well, I think this team has to own it, right? The offense in general has to own it. But yeah, there's plenty of room for growth. But the more that we're all 11 in sync, right? Quarterback doesn't make it happen on his own, right? And the players around him, they don't make it happen on their own. It's 11 guys working together.
Talked a lot about just like the juice of the team, how you want the team to have juice, but you want to be able to not have so much juice where they can't execute. How would you kind of rate the juice level right now, especially being 1 week out from the spring game?
Well, I'd say our passion today was really good. Like, there was great juice, but I think that passion became a weakness. We had more penalties today than we've had, in our previous scrimmages, and it's because of things that happened after the whistle, right? So we got to be able to control that. We're not going to be the team that beats ourselves. That's something we had to improve on from last season. So we had some up downs to remind us of that right after practice.
From a progress perspective, do you feel like you guys are ready for next Saturday in terms of putting on a good show?
Yeah, we're ready for next Saturday. We're ready to practice some more. Next Saturday is an opportunity for us to continue to get better.
What are you looking for?
We got to get to Tuesday first.
Right.
Yeah, next week, obviously that spring game. What are you looking forward to most?
Well, I love having our fans out here. It's hard to recreate a game-like atmosphere, but here at Autzen, we're able to do that with our spring game, with the turnout we'll get. I expect a packed crowd, some people to come support Lane County and bring some non-perishable items that can get them into the game, really, and take advantage of a great experience. There's some other events going on around that, with our concert and other pieces that'll be involved. So I want the fans to have a great experience, and I want our players to have a feel of what it's like on game day.
How do you assess the tackling so far, especially in a scrimmage like today where you're going a little bit more live than you would in practice?
Well, you need to watch it on film and be able to assess it, but I saw some good and some bad.
Cam Alexander brought this spring, bring to that secondary that maybe you guys didn't have before?
I don't know if it's anything that we didn't have before, but Cam's a good player. He's got great, speed and athleticism. I think he matches routes well. Going to keep challenging him, and from a physicality standpoint and the tackling. But he's been a guy that can stay. He can run with anybody out here, right? He's a high-speed guy, which is a great trait to have at corner.
How much growth have you seen from Jay Harris so far from when he got here to where he is now?
Today was a good day for Jay. I think he had 2 touchdowns out there. Still needs to work on the details, right? Learning what he needs to be doing consistently. But was a solid practice from him today.
How did Coach samples around so far? This obviously being his first scrimmage since it's been here. What's that been like so far?
Yeah, he's jumped in and got his feet right in the water. He's done a great job of embracing those guys, building relationships with those guys. I know he knows he has a good room, so he wants to continue to impact that room in a positive way, and he's done a great job of that.
For a lot of new faces on the team, this is going to be their first. The spring will be their first time where they get to kind of interact with the Duck fans and see Autzen Stadium all filled up. Just what's your message been like to those new players about what it's like to play in Autzen Stadium and what can they expect?
Yeah, we're not there yet. We got to get to Tuesday first, Thursday first. There's a lot of work still for us to be done. We're going to take advantage of every day we have to that point. But I know that atmosphere is going to be a lot of fun for our players to experience first time.
Things that Taisheem's looked to work to improve on here this spring.
Well, we've worked him in a couple different positions. A lot of last year he played primarily at star, and now he's working a little bit more at high safety, so getting a little bit of both of that. One thing is the experience that he has, and we're going to lean on his communication, so continue to ask him to be a great communicator back there in the back end.
You also passed the sideline tablet legislation. Just have you guys been working with that at all here in the spring? Will that be part of the spring game for the coaches?
Yeah, we've been using it all spring, and even today we incorporated some of the 2-minute rules that are different as well.